So now you may think that if I approach a non-conducting balloon with a glass rod, and I have a non-conducting balloon here, you may think now that this balloon will not come to the glass rod because there are no free electrons. So these electrons cannot freely move, and so you don't get this polarization, you don't get this induction. But that is not the case. And this is actually quite subtle. You have to look now at the atomic scale. If I take an atom that you have here, you have positive charge, and you have the electrons here in a cloud around the positive nucleus. If I bring a glass rod, positively charged nearby, then these electrons, which are stuck to the atoms, they cannot freely move like in conductors, however, will spend a little bit more time on the side where the glass rod is, because they feel attracted by the glass rod, whereas the nuclei, if anything, want to go away from the glass rod. So what you're going to see is that, in a way, if I started off with a spherical atom, let's suppose this were a spherical atom or a spherical molecule, then what will happen is that you get sort of a shape like this, and the electrons spend a little bit more time here than they spend here, and that means that I have actually polarized that atom. If the electrons spend more time on this side of the atom than on this side, I have also created the phenomenon of induction, and I therefore expect that this side becomes more negative than that side. And I can show you that in a nice way with a transparency, whereby I have plus and minus signs, and I have equal number of plus and minus signs. So they represent neutral atoms. There you see them. Boy, it's a little dirty, but maybe see I can clean it a little. Okay. Okay. So here we go. So notice there are equal amount of pluses and minuses. So think of the plus and the minuses as one neutral atom, just a representation. Now I'm holding a glass rod on this side, which is positively charged. And so each atom, the electrons want to go a little bit to this side, and so the nucleus stays behind. And if each atom does that, this is what's going to happen. And now notice what you end up with. In the middle of the substance, plus and minuses cancel each other out again. But on the right side, you have created a negatively charged layer, and on the left side, you have created a positively charged layer. And so in a way, you have again induction. So even in the non-conducting objects, this side will turn negative, and this side will turn positive. And therefore, if I approach a non-conducting balloon with a glass rod, I will also see the balloon come to me.